Come on, you know you want to watch. Let's get started. Okay, Bloomerinos, we're going to start off with a wreath base, and then we're going to add some gorgeous greenery to kind of shape out our design. So I'm using something a little different today. This is a ginkgo leaf. I love the way this looks. It is a really neat greenery to use, especially for spring, because it kind of looks like cabbage leaves, and it gives this really gorgeous, like neat green texture, and they're just really cool. So we're going to put this in first to kind of shape out our base. We're going to cut down our bush. We're going to need some wire cutters and trim them right off your bush, just like this. So I'm going to get started here by putting these in, and I'm going to start kind of and decide what shape do I want my piece to be. And for me, I just like to work on the left side, so I'm going to do that right now. So every time I put in a piece, I also have to come in and add a little Spanish moss to cover up my glue. So I'm going to do that right here. I'm going to make a little Spanish moss ball and put it in there right on my glue. I'm just going to kind of start to separate it and put these pieces in. It kind of fans out really fun like this, and we can start to put these pieces in right here. I'm going to go this way. I am really excited about working with this color palette with all the purples. If you've never designed or worked with purples, you're going to be shocked. There's a lot of people who love purple, the color. So they want it for their home. They want it for their accents and their seasonal pieces. And you can go anywhere from the deep purples to the lavenders. It doesn't have to be trending. It can just be that some of your customers will like that. And when you're going into the spring or early summer, I think purple's a lot of fun. So I'm going to kind of come down here, keep adding a little bit more. And you want to shape out each of your stems when you're using it. See how these are just so pretty, organically pretty? I'm going to keep bringing them in. How about to right here? I'm going to go to right here. And then I'm going to kind of change direction in a second, so we can go the other way. Let me put this one in. So we got this nice little flow going up and around. And one of the things you'll have to learn as you start to design more is you have to kind of draw people's eyes in different directions. And how are you going to do that? So that's one thing I like to teach in designs. Let's bring one more in. I think we'll go right here. Okay. Really, really pretty. So we got a great base of the ginkgo in. I like that. It's looking good. I'm gonna put my Spanish moss in there. Let's put one more maybe up here for a little height. And we're gonna have some left. So that's good because you're gonna wanna have some greenery left from your two bushes so you can come in and add it to different locations as you start to put your design together. All right, come on in, buddy. Let's put a little bit more moss in here. So I use the moss to hold the glue, but also to hold space in the wreath sometimes, because that kind of secures your pieces really nice. And it's a technique I've used for years, and I love it. Now, you're gonna grab your next stem, and it has berries. It has like a little of like a hydrangea cluster, and then a really nice fern. This is such an easy stem to work with. These are great. I'm gonna take and separate it out, and we're gonna cut it into 3 different pieces. So I have 2 of these, and I'm going to cut them to 3 sections. Cut it down, baby, down. I'm doing about, I usually like to cut them to about 3-inch stems. So you see how here I'm separating it? Just cut it, and you get that nice little cluster on its own. Don't be ever afraid to cut up these stems into different pieces, because you can make them go so far. And definitely shake hands with this. If you don't know what shake hands means, that is a term I use in design school. What it means is we're going to take and we're going to use all these great wires. You know, I only work with nice quality florals that really hold up well for my customers. And so I really like to shape it all up. You want to use the wires that are in there. Okay. Now, these berries and these little hydrangea clusters on here, they're going to work like our main flower in this. It's going to be different. It's going to have this real natural look. So I need to have good distribution of these over the whole design. So I've got to think about them when I start to put them in. Now, notice how fun this is. Like, this reminds me kind of like a wisteria, how it comes and trails over. So these kind of pieces are great to use on the edges right here, where it can trail over and out. So I'm going to go right into my glue over here, and then I'm going to bring it in over here to the side. If you don't know what a glue skillet is, I'd be happy to share our video with you about that, so you can learn all about a glue skillet and have your own. But that's what you see me dipping them into, kind of off camera, right over here. Okay. Now I got another little hangy one. Man, I love these hangy ones. I love anything that hangs or trails or is curvy. If you didn't know that, now you do. Okay, so I'm going to use this one kind of opposite down here. Now our flow goes up and over, so I need that hang to match that up and over look. So I can't just stick it in down there. I've got to have it kind of come in here to go up and over, or up here. And I'm going to go, I think, right here. Oh, I love this. I love this. Putting my glue on, I'm going right in this section right here. And make sure you're coming behind and you're double checking that you have plenty of moss in there. Now see how quickly it's coming together? When you work with good quality materials, things build up faster. There's a lot less labor involved. Now I'm working with the pretty berries. Look at this. I'm shaping it up. I want to get some little bit of shape going on. And we're going to put one of these right here, kind of going up into this area. I gave it a swirl in my glue. And now I'm coming right in here. I'm going to fluff out. Oh, you see those ginkgo leaves going to work on this? This is pretty. Pretty. I'm loving it. Okay, now let's come down and up in the next section. So I'm going to use this one right here. And we're going to do the same thing. Shake hands. My big pet peeve is leaves being backwards, so I'll work hard to try to keep them from being backwards. I'll flip them around. I hate it when they're backwards. Ugh. All right, and I'm going to come right down here. So we got a great distribution so far. Good spacing on here. We're doing excellent. I like the look we're creating. Make sure you come back over that glue with Spanish moss. I'm going to tuck it in there, and I'm going to hide the glue, but then I'm also going to use it to get in there and hold it in place. That looks really good. And these are such great wired stems. You can pull them out, and you want to do that because you want to create depth, because that means you're going to be able to sell your wreaths for more if you're a seller, or if you are making them for yourself, your wreath's going to be unlike anybody else has in the block. And when you create all this depth, it's going to make your little heart so happy every time you walk past it. That's what I like. All right, we have these smaller ones. So I'm going to take this one, and it's going to tuck right here, right to the side of that ginkgo. And I'm going to try to be neat and clean when I put this one in, because I kind of have a termination point for my florals over here, and I don't want it to be too messy. So I'm going to try to tuck it in, make it kind of pretty, just like that. And what I'm going to do is take this little piece, we're going to cut that off, and we're going to use it to hide the glue so it's a little prettier right here. So I'm going to just trim it off. We're going to put a little glue on the back, and we're going to go just right on that place. I'll put a little glue right there, and we're going to just let this lay right on top. Watch your glue strings if they're getting you. Got a pretty good one there. All right, and so that has a nice starting point to flow from. We can always add more greenery, and we'll work on a little detail there, but I want to make sure I had a bigger piece to hide the mechanics of the glue there. And then we're going to use this last piece right in here. So I've got a good flow of purple, and I've got my white, and I've got my good berries working all the way up. I could even divide this into two if I wanted, and I could put a little more of the one of them up there, split it, and have a little bit here and a little bit there. I think I'll do that. Oh, this is such a fun one. If you're a purple lover, let me know in the comments, because usually I'm always so amazed. My design school students will be like, I love purple. We have a lot of people who love it, and they're ready to work with it every time we do. All right, let's come up here. We'll go in this section. And we're going to put that berry. And I just kind of went between those two little places. Looks good. Now, before we get to the twiggy part, we're going to put the grasses in. I want you to step back and look for holes right now. And so that means you're going to look out on the shape of your design. And then wherever we have like a little hole, like here, we need a little bit more greenery in here. That's where we're going to bring some more greenery in. And we're going to start to kind of check the inside and check the outside. You're going to want to do both. Just check that line. So when you're checking the line, you're stepping back from your work and your design, and you are looking at the perimeter and the inside. If the inside of your wreath is open, you want to make sure you are giving it a good line. A really good line. I'm going to bend that one up. There we go. Oh, perfect. Let's put a little bit on the outside here. And I'm taking a little bit of care on the perimeter right here, because this is where our wreath starts and it goes around. I don't have direction changes in this design, so it's a little bit different. It's fun. It's fun to do these. I'm going to tuck this one up and underneath. Oh, you want to make sure it's going into the grapevine, not just going through the back. Perfect. See how pretty it looks down there now? It looks good. Yeah, that looks great. Come on in here, buddy. All right, now let's go up into here and add a little bit more in there. So this process will continue on until you are happy with what you are seeing. Let's go right in there. Oh man, and then we're gonna make it wispy. We're gonna make it wispy next. I'll get so excited. All right, let's come to the top. Let's go to the top, and I'm gonna trail over with these. Come bring these over. I'm gonna bring this one in right here. Oh yeah. And then let's do one just a little bit higher above. And I'm gonna have one piece left from my ginkgo bush, and I think I'm gonna hold on to it just to make sure I don't need to fill in anywhere else, you know, at the last minute, in case there's some little area I need it. This right here is a gorgeous wreath, guys, which is 2 supplies from Keleas.com, and we haven't even got to the next level, so we got more to go. But I love it already. Now we're to the grass part. So we're gonna put the grass or the twig, or sometimes the filler flower. In this case, this is gonna work like a double doozy. So in design school, we talk about filler flowers and grasses and why we're using them. And here we're using this as 2 for 1. So you're gonna take this, and it's easy to work with because all you gotta do is just take and cut these down into sections. If you tear them, then that just goes a little faster and a little bit easier on your hands. And you can save this wire for other projects you have going. Once you do that, you do have to kind of trim up the ends. All right, just make them neat and clean. You always have to make them neat and clean, otherwise you're gonna have a mess. We're ready to start putting these in. Our flow starts here. So you wanna start here and work all the way up, and I want a little of this drama everywhere in here. I don't wanna just have it just in one spot. I might actually start up and work down. So that way I make sure I get the drama at the top. So let's go in here. Come on, drama. I love putting twigs in, and flowering twigs and grasses are beautiful. So I'm gonna bring my first piece in, and I'm gonna manipulate it, give it all that movement we talk about. So important. Now this functions as its own little drama here. So we're gonna kind of let that hang there. We're gonna come a little bit down. It's got its own cool drama. I've never had a berry or a twig that I didn't like. Pretty much. Never. Okay, we're gonna push this one in. This one's gonna go right here. Beautiful. And now I'm gonna work a third one. How about a third one in more to the, maybe to the outside right here. Okay? Isn't that pretty? And we're kind of creating this line that's coming down on the outside. You know, like a horse's mane? That's what we're kind of doing right now. Bring this one down a little bit more. So pretty. And all of these grasses are working to the outside. And that way, this keeps this very interesting, very different. And like, we want it to be different than you could just pick up at your local store. We want it to have flavor. And we want to say we made it ourselves. And we, you know, you can make your own designer wreaths. You don't have to go buy them. If you want to make your own, we're here to show you how. Let's bring one more into here. Now, if the idea of this just being on the outside just totally freaks you out, Klee, I have to have some from the inside. That's okay. Go ahead. You cut yours a little bit shorter and put some from the inside. But I am going to keep mine all on the outside here. Try to keep people's eyes just going, whoa, so pretty. I'm going to put this leaf here. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. I think we're going to put number 6 kind of coming over the front. Still working on that outside, but just coming over here. Now, if you wanted to do this and you wanted to keep going all around, you could just get one more bush of everything and you would be set. You could come and complete the circle. I love making things asymmetrical like this. So, beautiful, beautiful. And keep that grass on the outside. Play with that and see how you like it. And maybe you can make something just like this. Just be inspired to create something for yourself. You can get this designer look, and I know you can do it. All right, Bloomerinos, go play with this design. I know you're gonna have fun. Have fun with flowers. Bye, everybody.